Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Taylor and today is going to be a cozy reading vlog. It also might be a little bit of like a 24-hour reading vlog. I'm not quite sure. I kind of want to try again. Last time I tried, I did not do very well. But I just want to see how much I can read before I go pick my boyfriend up at the airport on Sunday. So today is Friday. I just got back from a little walk. I went to Byerly's. There's like one within walking distance to me. I've just realized I hate driving. I hate driving so much. And so I picked up a bottle of wine that is chilling in the fridge now. And I just want to read. I just want to read this weekend. This is going to be the first Friday and Saturday that I have had nothing to do, no one to hang out with, nothing like that. Probably since I started dating my boyfriend. And that's not a dig, that's nothing other than just a statement like, oh, I have a Friday night to myself. That's crazy. I haven't had one of those in so long. So I wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm going to show you the books that I'm reading right now. The book that I think I'm going to try and finish tonight is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I am loving this book so far. I'm on page 252 and I believe that there's around 460 pages. And this book is just so fast and it's very fast paced. It's been really, really good so far. Very cathartic, honestly. I would look up trigger warnings before picking this up. There are a few things that like, even I was like, God, this is like really heavy on my heart. But so I'm reading this. I will be finishing this weekend. And then the audiobook that I've been listening to is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And look at this edition. I told my grandma that I was reading this book and she was like, I tried reading that book. I hated it. And I was like, oh gosh. Well, my grandma and I have very different book tastes, but I was like, yeah, I'm really liking it. All this stuff. She's like, yeah, I actually bought the entire series. And these are actually the UK covers. And I was like, dang, I like this a lot. So I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm listening to the audiobook. So I don't know if I'll finish the audiobook. I might, because I also have the audiobook for The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and it's on a different library card than my Minneapolis one, and they only check out for 14 days, which like kind of stinks. I also have TED Talks, the official TED Talk Guide to Public Speaking. I'm on chapter 5, and I'm still, I would say, at the beginning of this book. It is really slow, and it just like, I think because I do public speaking as, you know, kind of a part-time job, I find this to be a little bit slow-paced, but this is like for the intro public speaker, someone who doesn't know as much as I do. And I'm hoping to glean kind of some coaching things from this, and so it still has value. I just like, at least the first part that I read, I'm like, okay, come on, like, can we speed up a little bit, you know? And I actually just came in, a hold just came in for No Longer Human by Junji Ito, and that is a manga, so I will probably be reading that. I put my Libby app on my iPad because for whatever reason, this manga will only read in like horizontal form, which is really odd. Just because I've never had that happen before. And then most of my books are packed up right now, but I did go through and pull out a bunch of short books for this reading vlog, so I'm just going to pull out a few, I think, to like show you. So first things first, Uzumaki, I've been telling you that I want a reread of this really badly, so just that one. And then I do have this is like the one self-help book that I have in like my thing. I did have like a short stint where I was listening to a few self-help books, and I don't know, self-help books literally just exist to like make people feel good about themselves, and I think I was just like really lonely at the time. I was feeling super lost, and so I was looking like good self-help books, and so this one is Good Vibes, Good Life, How Self-Love is the Key to Unlocking Your Greatness by Vex King. So we'll see. I think like this book is so tiny. Like if you look at it compared to like a regular sized book, like it's a baby book. So I might try and dabble in this a little bit. I have The Day of the Treffids by John Wyndham. And this is like everyone gets blinded, and then there's like plant horror. And I know plant horror is like a really big thing right now, called The Employee by Olga Ravin, and it's translated by Martin Aitken. And I think it was originally in Dutch or Danish. Yeah. And so it is these statements. The employees reshuttles a sci-fi voyage into a riotously original existential nightmare. Aboard the interstellar 6000 ship, the human and humanoid crew members complain about their daily tasks in a series of staff reports and memos. When the ship takes on a number of strange objects from the planet New Discovery, the crew becomes deeply attached to them, even as tensions boil toward mutiny, especially among the humanoids. In chilling, crackling, and exhilarating prose, the employees probes into what makes us human while delivering a hilariously stinging critique of life governed by the logic of productivity. So I was really interested in this book. Obviously, when I bought it, I'm still very interested in it. Also, the cover, it's just like, it's making a statement, that's for sure. So this is definitely what I'm going to prioritize in this little reading vlog. Next one, I haven't read poetry in so long. So this is House Fires by Connor Franta. It is poems and personal essays. And I've read Connor Franta's other books. He wrote a memoir when he was like 23, and I did in fact read it, and I liked it. But then he's come out with 2 more books. I can't remember what the other one was called. I read it in like 2020. But then this one came out, I believe, oh, Notes to Self. Yeah, so this one came out in 2021, and I think Notes to Self came out in like 2017, 18, because he wrote his memoir, A Work in Progress, it was like during the height of the YouTuber book craze. So this one I've had just for a long time, and I don't know, Connor Franta is just like a really cool guy. I guess I don't know him personally, but I like his little photography that he puts in here. It's just a fun little dynamic thing that he does, because this is in the same kind of style as he did Notes to Self. Don't forget to give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel for more reading vlogs, crochet vlogs, and let's just get started. Okay, so I read for about an hour. Now it is like 55 minutes. It's about 8 p.m. and I got to page 311. So what that is, that was 52, what was that, about 60 pages? So about a page every minute or so. So that's pretty good. I don't know, whenever I'm timing myself, I always feel reading much slower than I actually am. So that's pretty good. I have about 150 pages left, which I do plan on finishing tonight. I do have a lot of dishes though. I have like way too many dishes, and I kind of want to like light some incense maybe and like pour myself a glass of wine. So I am going to put my headphones on, and I'm going to listen to The Shadow of the Wind, and I am going to count that as reading time. So I'm going to do that, wash my dishes, and then I'll come back and probably finish Conditions of Will. Alrighty, I finished The Conditions of Will. It was so good. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads and Fable. Something about this book was just so cathartic. I love the family dynamics that we explore in here. Beautiful, like, standalone. I honestly think that the cast of characters that Jessa Hastings made in this book almost felt stronger than some of the characters in Magnolia Parks, and Magnolia Parks has like 5 books in the series, and that's a 5-star series, don't get me wrong. I don't know what it was. I think I just really loved the family in here, and I like how it explores like kind of what truth is and who gets to be like right. And I will say this is not a romance book. If you go into this being like, oh, this is the newest romance. I don't think Jessa Hastings is a romance writer. I wish we would kind of stop calling like Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates romance books. I do think that they are lit fics with strong romance like subplots, but they aren't like, they're not like an Elsie Silver book, you know? They are much more like character driven, character focused, rather than the plot is, you know, falling in love, right? It's not that, I'm not trying to say that all romance books are one note, but that's kind of like, you go into a romance book, that's what you're expecting, right? And like, let me just show you the back of this. Like, this book is just so gorgeous, and I'm really happy I decided to pick this up. I had it over in my little like this is, so my cart here, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is what I consider to be like my to be read, like most like soon to be read. And I did buy this book a few months ago, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll get to it when I get to it. I wanted to get through Magnolia Parks Into the Dark first, which upon reading like both books, I definitely didn't need to. Like, you're not gonna see Magnolia and BJ when she talks about like her life in London. She does mention a few other characters that are just, you know, mentioned in the Magnolia Parks universe series. I also like the way that Jessa Hastings wrote spice scenes, I guess you could say, because there is no spice in this book. Like, sex is mentioned, sex is talked about, people do it. But one thing I've realized about like Jessa Hastings' writing, and I really like her writing, so like bear that in mind when I say this, I don't think she was meant to write sex scenes. I don't know, I keep thinking about like, if you've read Daisy Hates, there's like a specific like 10 pages at the end of Daisy Hates where you're just like, oh my god, and there is a reason for it, and I'm not saying that it was bad or poorly written or anything like that. I don't know why, just like when she writes too much into it, it just like kind of makes me uncomfy, whereas like I really liked the way that she handled it in this book. I do have her next book on hold at my library, so I'm excited to read that as well, because I really, her writing is just so addictive. It's really fun. I like how casual it is too, and I feel like she's just really good at getting into the minds of her characters. So this was amazing. I also kind of liked the one POV. Normally I am a multiple POV kind of gal, but I really liked just being in our main girl Georgia's head. She's great. I like her. And then in terms of like how long that took me to read, I'm at 3 hours 44 minutes. So I'm almost at 4 hours of reading for the night. It's always interesting when you like say I'm going to read for 24 hours and then you like start, and like I feel like I've been reading for so long, and 4 hours, almost like 3 hours and 45 minutes, that's still a long time. And then you realize how long 24 hours actually is, and it's like, dang. With finishing this book, this does leave so I always try to read 3 books at once. I have a nonfiction book, which is what I have my TED Talks one for. And I don't know if I want to like read or if I want to go to bed. I'm not quite certain yet. I do think I want to, maybe I'll go to bed, but I'll read on my iPad. I do have No Longer Human by Junji Ito on my iPad, so maybe I'll do that. And then tomorrow I can, you know, pick out a new book to read. I think I might read this one tomorrow, The Employees by Olga Ravin. Just because I've been so curious about it, and what better time than now? And it can just be a little day book. Good morning. How is everyone doing? I went to bed around 11 midnight, and I sat and read No Longer Human. it's weird because the novel is not by Junji Ito, but the adaptation of it to manga is. So like he did the drawing and he, you know, chose from the original novel what to and not to put in. But if you go into this thinking like, oh, you know, I love Junji Ito, this is gonna be like his other works, it is nothing like his other works. It's a lot about like mental health and social anxiety, at least from what I've seen so far. There are like depictions of SA very early on in the manga, and it just like really took me by surprise. And now like our main character is of like kind of a dubious age, and I just don't understand what's going on. So there's that. Obviously I'm going to continue just to see what's going on, and if I DNF it, I DNF it. I'm not at that point yet because it takes a lot for me to DNF a book. Like I have to feel very strongly, very like against a book in a way to DNF it. So I got up around 8 this morning. It's only 9:30. And so I started reading The Employees by Olga Ravin. So the dedication is to Leah Guedet Hesteland for her installations and sculptures, without which this book would not exist. So I found an article online and I was trying to read it. So I guess this book is a accompaniment to an art exhibit. And I didn't want to read the entire article quite yet, just because I want to like read the book and then kind of see what we got going on. So I am on page 40 now, and this book is quite interesting in the fact of everything is statements. So we are following a crew on a spaceship, as we talked about last night, and each page or 2 pages is like one statement. Some are long, some are short, and it's really exploring like work-life balance and what it means to be like human, because like we have humans, then we have humanoids, and then we have robots, I guess. I don't know, I'm having a hard time understanding, because like you can be humanoid and still be like a mammal, right? But then there's like robots, and I guess like people can also get attachments to them where then they, you know, have robot attachments but they are still human. It's a little bit difficult for me to understand. I think it's because my brain, and maybe this is just a human thing, like I want to understand, but it's like just drip feeding us information. That doesn't make this a bad book. Like I'm enjoying it and it's going quite fast. Like this is a tiny little guy. I'm already on page 41 of like what, 165. Like I could definitely get this finished today. We'll see how I'm feeling, but it's very good so far. I'm really enjoying it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I don't know why, something about this is just like so aesthetically pleasing to me. It's giving modern art on the cover, but I just really like this style. That's kind of where we're at. I definitely need to clean up my room a little bit today. I do this really fun thing where my clothes pile up in one corner, and I just need to fold them and like put them away, which would honestly take me about 20 minutes. But I don't know why, it's like the biggest thing in the world to like do that, or at least it feels like it. So I mean, I'll definitely get that done, and I'll probably listen to my audiobook while I'm doing it. Speaking of hours and audiobooks and stuff, I'm at about 5 hours right now, so 4 hours and 52 minutes, so I'm rounding up. So about 5 hours since last night, and honestly that's pretty good. I do feel like I've been reading for so much longer. I know I mentioned that last night, but you don't realize like the mental stamina you need to have for something like this until you kind of like start it. And I mean, my TV's actually off right now. I might take like a little bit of a break later on today. Yeah, I think I'm going to continue reading The Employees, and then we'll see. Whenever I kind of feel I need to switch it up, I might switch to No Longer Human. And then I do want to get at least a little bit done in this book, the TED Talks book. I'm just having a hard time because it's not, as I said last night, it's not super riveting. So I may switch gears and I may do either like the self-help book, or I also have a Chuck Klosterman book here, Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, which I believe is it's like a pop culture thing, I believe of like the 80s or something, because I do have the 90s by him, but this one came out first, so I was like, let me try this one first. And this isn't super long, so like I'm trying not to start a million books at once, which is a bad habit that I do have. So I am trying to like let me like read the books that I'm already in the middle of, you know. It's a whole thing. Didn't you know it's so hard being me? I finished The Employees by Olga Ravin. I thought this book was such a fun exploration into like what it means to be human, what are our jobs for, like work-life balance. I don't know, it was really interesting. I will say this sort of story, this way to tell a story, I wouldn't say that it was like, you don't truly get a story. This is like a lot of character studies. But yet, like, the statements, we're not getting names of these people. You just kind of get this vague thought of, like, oh, like, there's some callbacks and all this stuff. So if you're looking for, like, something super sci-fi, plot-heavy, that's not gonna be this. I thought that this was a really interesting read, a very fun exploration that was just different than how, you know, most books are. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I finally read this. It has been sitting on my TBR for about a year now. So now, and it is noon right now. My friend invited me to go out for drinks with her friends tonight, and I'm super excited about that. So we'll kind of take a little bit of a break from the reading then. I'm at 6 hours and 49 minutes currently, and I am going to walk to Byerly's and listen to The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, because my boyfriend's coming back tomorrow, and I was like, hey, you know, what do you want to eat when you get back? And he was like, I just want something simple, like chicken and rice, please. Well, I'm out of chicken, so I'm gonna take a short little walk to the Byerly's again and just listen to my audiobook. But it is a beautiful day outside today. It is not too hot. I will say it looks like the smog and the haze is starting to lift too, because Minnesota has been kind of enveloped in a bad fog. Haze, not even fog, it's not fog, it's like a haze from the Canadian wildfires. So that just is what it is. But it looks a lot better out today, and it's not quite as humid. But I also need to pick out another physical book. I did read some of No Longer Human on my iPad. I read about 100 pages of that. And so I'm sure once I get home I'll read some more of that. I think I want something a little bit easier on my mind. Something that maybe isn't quite as, like I was super tuned in, locked in for The Employees. So I think I want something where I can turn my brain off a little bit more. So I do think I'm gonna start House Fires by Connor Franta when I get back. Just because, I mean, these are essays, a little bit of poetry, and like his beautiful, like nice photography. I love the way that these pages feel too. Okay, so it is still Saturday. It's around 5 p.m. right now. No, it's 4:30, sorry. And I have read about 9 hours since starting the vlog. So I walked to Byerly's, and then I walked and got lunch. And lunch was about 1.1 miles away, so it was 1.1 miles there, 1.1 back. So combined, I've walked around 4 miles today, which is good because, you know, did you know that 10,000 steps is around 5 miles? I did take a nap for a bit, so I'm gonna just chill and read more of No Longer Human on my iPad. So I'm gonna do that for a little bit. Hello, I have great news. I finished The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I gave this book 4.75 stars. I don't know why, just something was keeping it from a 5-star read for me. but that does not mean that it wasn't amazing. This book is about like people who love to read and is like a gothic mystery trying to learn about an author. So we're following Daniel, and he lives in Barcelona, and when he's 10 years old he finds a book called The Shadow of the Wind, and it's by Julian Carax. And he becomes obsessed with trying to find more books by Julian Carax because he's like, I love this guy's writing. And it really just like leads him down this crazy twisting path of like what happened to Julian Carax and all this stuff. And just a beautiful story about like loving books and loving to read and like being in pursuit of the truth. So I definitely just wanted to kind of get it finished today. I've been reading it like all week. It's a relatively long book. It was like 18 hours on audiobook. I am about to go grab drinks with my friend, and I'm super excited to see her. And my lift is about 7 minutes away. So just wanted to update you real quick. I am at 12 hours, 23 minutes for my reading. So that's pretty good. So I finished 3 books, and I am 50% through No Longer Human by Junji Ito, and I got to page, what, 40? Oh, almost 70 in House Fires by Connor Franta. So, you know, I think we're making good progress. I don't know how long I'll be out tonight. I'm really not going to worry about getting back at any certain time. The biggest thing is that I just can't drink too much because I gotta pick up Chad pretty early in the morning, and I'm just so excited to see him. Oh my god! Oh, I miss him so much. I haven't seen him in so long. But yeah, that's the update, and we'll see if I end up finishing any more books. Hi, yes, hello. It has been a few days. I think by the time I picked up Chad at the airport, it was around 14 hours, and I have continued to track my hours. It is currently Tuesday, and I am at 22 hours and 38 minutes. So I am almost done with this challenge. I'm actually very excited for myself. The other time I tried doing this, I failed, and it was like taking me over a week to try and get to even that like 20-hour mark. And I'm very like happy, and I don't know, I feel like I really prioritize my reading, and I can tell that my reading stamina is just way better than I remember it being a year ago, and I'm happy. I finished House Fires by Connor Franta. I gave this 3 stars. Visually, it is so nice, like just these beautiful pictures. Sometimes they're like full spread pieces of art. I like the way this book feels when I hold it in my hands, but I can't say that this particularly moved me. I don't know, I think Connor Franta is an interesting guy. I just felt like, for whatever reason, these essays just felt like they were like holding back a little bit. Maybe it may be a parasocial relationship. Connor Franta, the social media personality, influencer, whatever you want to call it, is from Minnesota, so maybe it's just a kindred spirit sort of thing. So I finished that, and I have been plowing through TED Talks by Chris Anderson. I am currently I'm about to start, part 4? And it's actually, there are like 5 chapters, but it only spans around 30-ish pages. So I'm going to be reading that tomorrow. I read like 60 pages out of this today, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm learning anything really new, revolutionary, or groundbreaking in this book, but that doesn't mean that I'm not finding it useful. There are certain things that I am learning, or even just like a good refresher, and so these are things that I can help impart onto my students who are going to be writing their own pieces for this upcoming year. I also have been reading The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I am 38% through that book, and it's good so far. I think we're still like, essentially we're following like 2 women who are sisters during World War II, and they're kind of like on 2 different sides of the spectrum. One is and we're in Nazi occupied France. And so one is like wanting to work for the resistance, helping France, you know, get its independence back from Germany. And her sister is like, I have a daughter, and how am I supposed to, you know, safely go against the current when my biggest thing is wanting to keep my child alive? And it's really interesting kind of seeing both of their thought processes. I do feel like we get a lot of it from both sides, which is kind of nice. And there's also like the relationship aspect, but at this point in the book, their relationship hasn't, it just has, like, it just is. There hasn't been any growth or change or really anything. So I guess we'll see how it progresses. And then last night I started Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, and I am on page 47 right now. I am super, super tired, so I'm gonna go lay down in bed and maybe get a few more pages read. I may just turn on YouTube and fall asleep and finish the last hour and a half tomorrow. But I just wanted to check in. I know it's been a while. I'm so sorry. I didn't forget about you. All right, so here's what we got. 24 hours and like 1/30th of a second. I feel really good. I read for 24 hours. We are done, friends. I am so happy with the way that, you know, this video went. I'm really happy that I stuck to it. If you're wondering why I'm on the floor, I'm not gonna move my sweet little angel baby who loves to be on the couch all day. So, things I learned. 24 hours. Clearly my reading stamina has gone up significantly in the past year, so I'm very happy about that. Short books are definitely a must because, you know, you finish a book, you get a little bit of that dopamine hit, so that's really nice. Audiobooks are really great supplemental tools in things like this. And starting when you already have a few books that you're kind of in the middle of, that is nice as well. So let's recap what we finished in this video. So the first book we finished was The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Then we read The Employees by Olga Ravin, The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, and House Fires by Connor Franta. So those are the 4 books that I finished, and then right now I'm reading The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I'm almost done with TED Talks, the official TED Guide to Public Speaking by Chris Anderson. I have about 20 pages left of this. Honestly, I might finish this today because I definitely want to finish this before I go to Chicago next week for work. And then I was reading Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I think I'm going to DNF this book and unhaul it, honestly. I wasn't really under any impression that I was going to keep this book after reading it. The only thing that interests me are the pictures, and I think that that is not a good enough reason to keep reading a book, even though my brain is like, but, no, it is not a good enough reason. I have too many books that I want to read in this lifetime. I can also definitely check it out from the library. Like, this is a very popular book that is in the library if I really choose to read it. I mean, it's fast-paced. Like, I'm on page 84 right now, but I really don't think I can. So I'm going to, what I've been doing is I've been putting the books I want to unhaul in the trunk of my car, because I kind of want to do like a little video of like, here are the books I'm unhauling. And it's not a lot, because I want to put them in free little libraries. Well, libraries. There's only one that I know of around here, so I was going to put it in there. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because it's not clicking for me. So I feel bad. I always feel bad DNFing a book. The bookmark I've been using is somebody's business card. They're a indie yarn dyer, and look how cute that is. Yeah, I'm gonna DNF this. I'm committing to the DNF. But yeah, I definitely think I want to do this again. It was a very fun experience. Like I said, short books definitely help to kind of like break things up. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, coming along on this journey with me. I'm so glad that I finally did this. I feel really good. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. please give me your tips for a 24-hour reading challenge in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more reading, crochet, and lifestyle content, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!